Now at 5:30 on WKYT this morning, city officials in Charlotte, North Carolina are calling for calm after protests break out after a deadly officer-involved shooting.
We'll have the latest from there. Also on WKYT, flu season is upon us. Find out how you can get yourself a free shot. That's just ahead this morning.
And it's almost time for Lexington's annual Race for the Cure Marathon. How you can register coming up on WKYT this morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Kentucky mornings start right here on WKYT. Good morning to you. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Andrea Walker. It is Wednesday, September 21st. We are rolling right into fall. Today is the last day of summer.
Last full day of summer. You know, it'll. I think it's about 10:20 or so tomorrow. It officially becomes autumn or fall. Meteorologist Micah Harris is on duty. It won't feel like it around here, though, huh?
No, absolutely not, because those temperatures are going to be skyrocketing. We'll be roughly 90 degrees today, tomorrow, and off towards your Friday. I want to show you this. Look at the big picture here. Look off toward the eastern seaboard back toward North Carolina. They have a system over there, a tropical system, that stays there. Look to the north of us heading towards Chicago. That stays there. And then back towards, say, Denver and off toward New Mexico. It's just not moving. And the reason being is huge dome of higher pressure right over the central portion of the United States, and everything flows around that. Not through it, but around that. And so that's going to keep us dry the next several days. Keeps us with mornings like this. Beautiful start to the day. Emoji cast time. We're at 60 degrees this morning, 87 by the afternoon. You need those shades once again today. We're going to talk about when we see at least the chance, not a good chance, but the chance of rain in the forecast. That's coming up.
All right. For now, good to see the sunshine and those smiles,
That's right?
All right. Let's get to the news this morning from WKYT. City officials in Charlotte are calling for calm this morning after the fatal police shooting of a black man has sparked violent protests overnight.
Relatives of Keith Lamont Scott say he was shot by officers while reading a book inside his car on Tuesday, but police maintain Scott had a gun. Hannah Daniels has the latest.
Demonstrators knelt down with their hands up along the Charlotte roadway overnight, steps away from officers in riot gear. The moment of peace was brief. Police fired tear gas to disperse the crowd. Some protesters in attendance kicked the canisters back. Others took turns hurling water bottles, rocks, and damaging countless squad cars. The chaos erupted hours after Keith Lamont Scott was shot and killed by police at this apartment complex yesterday afternoon. Officers were there looking for a suspect with an outstanding warrant when they encountered the 43-year-old getting out of his car. He was not the man they were looking for.
As they engage him, he is armed with a handgun that we found on scene as well. Makes some imminent threat to them, and because of that, at least one of our officers fired.
This distraught woman, who says she's the victim's daughter, live streamed the aftermath on Facebook for more than an hour. She shared a different view of what happened.
He in the damn car reading a book. Y'all running for him because he black.
The victim's sister also spoke out.
They jumped out their truck. They said, hands up. He got a gun. He got a gun. Pow, 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 pow.
The officer involved has been identified as Brentley Vinson, an African-American on the force since 2014. Authorities say he's been placed on administrative leave. Hannah Daniels, CBS News.
Authorities say they're interviewing witnesses as part of their investigation. The incident comes as the Justice Department investigates the officer-involved shooting of Terrence Crutcher in Tulsa, Oklahoma last week. Dashcam video showed Crutcher had his hands in the air before he was shot and killed.
Of course, the latest details as they come in on that this morning and on CBS this morning a little bit later. Locally now, more details have now been released in the shooting death of a pregnant Lexington woman.
Mariah Coleman was shot while walking her dog nearly 2 weeks ago in the Winburn neighborhood. Police say Coleman and her unborn baby died at the hospital shortly after. WKYT's Lauren Miner joins us now live with the latest on the investigation.
Well, good morning, Bill and Andrea. Police believe Mariah Coleman was an innocent bystander when she was shot while walking her dog 2 weeks ago. They are still trying to figure out who is responsible for the shooting. Police did discover a gun near the scene, which has been sent off for testing to determine whether or not it is related to this case. Witnesses told police that shortly after the shooting, there was a young man with dreadlocks and a cast on his arm running from the scene. New information in the case is giving the family hope that an arrest will be made soon.
We're always going to have that void there because, we're not going to be able to get her back. We're not going to be able to know what baby Jacoby's, his first steps, we're not going to be able to see those.
Lexington police have not named any suspects in this case, but they are asking for anyone with information to please come forward. Reporting live in Lexington, Lauren Miner, WKYT.
All right, Lauren, thank you very much. Well, it may feel like summer, but flu season is upon us, and now is actually the best time to think about getting a flu shot. Michelle Chamberlain is at the alert desk with details on where you can get yours.
Yeah, and if you want to get a flu shot, you can get one today at the Lexington-Fayette County Health Department. The Kentucky Department of Public Health said last week that it had already confirmed that the virus is circulating in the state, which could indicate the flu season has hit Kentucky early. Now, the flu typically begins in October or November. Now, as of last check, there have been 10 confirmed cases of the flu in our state. The health department will offer flu shots from 9 o'clock this morning till 3 this afternoon, all this week, Monday through Thursday. It's happening at the Health Department's Public Health Clinic at 650 Newtown Pike. No appointment is necessary, and the cost for the flu shot is $30. Now you can head to our website, WKYT.com, and get a full list of the people who are strongly encouraged to get a flu vaccine. Bill?
A $30 investment there. We'll see. Thank you very much, Michelle. New on WKYT this morning, a Boyle County man was arrested in Lexington, accused of abusing his 5-year-old child. Police say Bradley Moore was left in charge of the child while the child's mother went to work overnight. When she came home, police say Moore was gone. She then noticed her son was hurt. Police say Moore punched the child in the face multiple times and caused other injuries.
Also new this morning, a hoverboard is being blamed for sparking a house fire in northern Kentucky. People inside the Florence home told firefighters they heard a clicking noise, then noticed the hoverboard sparking. They went to pick it up, but it exploded and started a fire in the front of the home. There was some smoke damage inside, but thankfully no one was hurt.
School officials have issued a warning for students at Lindsey Wilson College in Adair County.
The school sent emails to students yesterday alerting them about a recent assault near campus. The email said a student was attacked by an unknown person at the Christian Church Park next to campus. Thankfully, we're told the student is okay. The attacker was described as a thin man between 35 and 45, an average height with gray hair and a rough beard. An afternoon fire has left a Perry County family without a home this morning. The fire started around 5:30 yesterday in the Viper community. Firefighters were quick on the scene, but they ran into a roadblock.
They almost had it under control, and they ran out of water. And the water hydrant, they said the city had the water hydrants turned off.
The assistant fire chief says he's not sure why the hydrant was turned off. We're told the family of 4 thankfully does have insurance. Crews are still trying to figure out what caused the fire.
A retired law officer is facing sex abuse charges in Woodford County this morning.
Versailles police arrested 76-year-old Donald Drury yesterday. According to his arrest citation, Drury is a retired Kentucky vehicle enforcement officer. Drury is accused of touching himself inappropriately in front of a 14-year-old boy. Drury is also accused of recording a sex act with a 15-year-old on his phone. The Catholic Diocese of Owensboro has reinstated a priest accused of sex abuse. The review board was looking into a complaint saying Reverend Freddie Bird engaged in inappropriate conduct with a 17-year-old in 1983. The board said there is not enough information to forward the case. Bird was suspended in June and reinstated last week. State police say their investigation did not investigate the case.
The state is now seeking to recoup tens of thousands of dollars for the care of dozens of abandoned horses.
It comes after the Kentucky Department of Agriculture, along with Mercer County Fiscal Court, filed a lawsuit against Charles and Maria Burrell. The Ag Department says it has spent more than $20,000 on the case of 43 horses found abandoned back in June on a farm leased by the Burrells. Businesses have also provided more than $13,000 in goods and services. The suit would also clear the way for the horses to be sold or adopted. The Burrells each face 43 charges of animal cruelty. Stranger danger is always a talking point when you're dealing with school-aged children, but the kids learning how to protect themselves from possible threats are getting younger and younger. Preschoolers are being taught self-defense. Nelson's Taekwondo America teaches kids as young as 3 the moves needed to protect themselves. However, the owner says they are a little young to know when to use them. What he's working on now is teaching them discipline.
When they learn how to do something in one place, they can take that same skill set and learning how to do it, and then carry it over to other things that they go to achieve.
Coming up at 6:35 on WKYT this morning, the changes in children and parents this instructor has seen over the past 3 decades in teaching Taekwondo. Police investigating a shooting in eastern Kentucky community may have a break in the case, and it's all thanks to a wrong number and a bizarre voicemail.
He dials the number by mistake, and the lady didn't answer the phone, and he left a voice message, and he identified himself and identified who the person he shot.
A Williamsburg woman received the voicemail after she notified police. They traced the number back to Leslie County. Deputies there are working the shooting from Sunday. Investigators plan to take the voicemail confession to a grand jury to decide if charges should be filed.
Oops, on that, it sounds like, right?
I know, but I mean, it's a good thing that it was able to crack the
right,
case.
we could take it to the grand jury and we'll
Yeah.
see what happens. 5:40 is our time now on WKYT.
And it is almost that time of year again. A week for Saturday, thousands of runners and walkers will take to the streets in downtown Lexington to fight breast cancer.
And it'll be the 20th year for the Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure in Lexington, and it will be held on Saturday, October 1st, downtown. The race starts at 9 near the Robert F. Stevens Courthouse. The annual Survivor Parade will be at 8:15. The registration for all of that is open now. You can go to our website, WKYT.com, and look for the Race for the Cure logo and help out in any way you can. Time to check on live drive traffic this morning. See what's going on early on this Wednesday as you make your way in or get out and do some things in the middle of the week here.
All right, here's a look at our traffic map. A lot of green on the screen, which is a good thing to start your morning. We're not aware of any traffic incidents right now. So let's take a look at the Lexington Fayette Urban County Government's live drive cam. We are looking at Newtown and I-75.
Interstate's running fine. Again, this morning we have no reports of any issues at the moment. Officer Don will be here in just a few minutes as the traffic starts picking up, and he'll guide us along on your Wednesday morning. And there's a lot more news coming up. Hey, it's great to have you with us up and at it. We have a lot more to tell you about on your Wednesday.
Still to come, an Ohio police officer gets a surprise from a man he saved nearly 20 years ago. The emotional reunion when we return on WKYT this morning.
Boy, it's a good looking start to the day once again, but I will tell you this, we get into the afternoon. It's a fall start, but a summer finish later on this afternoon. I'll show you how high we go with those temperatures and if we have any chance of rain in the forecast for these big events this weekend. It's coming up.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
It is 57 right now in Somerset, Burnside. Work your way back towards, say, Columbia and Adair County. All looks well. Early this morning, maybe a little hint of fog in the far south and southeastern zones. But other than that, we're looking pretty good. We got some big events coming up. World Chicken Festival down in London. A lot of events happening and some pretty good weather for you guys. Nice start to the day at 60 degrees. We head toward the afternoon, 87. That's exactly what we did yesterday is what you're going to be going through today. So it's really not a bad day in store, just a couple of clouds here and there. First day of fall looked pretty good, roughly 90 degrees for tomorrow. Then we head toward Friday night football. Friday night football last weekend, there were a few spots, especially central, southwest, and northern zones, because you had 3 or 4 cells that affected a lot of people in those areas. They just kind of traveled on through, caused some lightning delays and even cancellation on some games. You won't have that this Friday. You have absolutely no worries weather-wise. The only worry is trying to beat the other team, but weather-wise, yeah, you have no problems. It looks pretty good. Let's talk about the World Chicken Festival, right? Crispy day there on 90. See what I did there? Off towards your Saturday at 84 degrees, a much better feel there on Saturday, but extremely nice on Sunday. Now, I know you guys actually kick off on Thursday, and Thursday looks great, but yeah, once you head off toward Friday into your weekend where a lot of people head down, it looks really, really nice, and it gets better as you go throughout your weekend. It's actually much better there for Saturday and Sunday when it's really, really packed, and you can see that on that picture there. So really good looking days ahead, not just for that festival, but for all the festivals going on. You still got the Burgoo Festival in Lawrenceburg kicking off Friday into your weekend. Check out this shot. Just tweet it at me. Micah Harris WX, sundown in Lexington. I always get the coolest pictures. You guys send me the greatest pictures, so we appreciate that very much. And I always show them off for you in the morning too. So if you want to hear your name, Triple T Dad 2000. That's a tough one to say. That's James Starr. That's one of our weather watchers right there. Yeah, send it to me, man. It's awesome right there. Micah Harris, WX 7-day forecast. The breakdown of it, guys, it is a summer feel the next 3 days, and then we start to see those temperatures drop off. 79 there on Sunday. There is a front this weekend, but very limited moisture for this front to deal with, meaning don't expect rain out of this front. Just expect those temperatures to dive, which is okay with me. I would like a little bit of rain. That would be nice, but just not on the weekend. That was the problem last week. Like, I think most everybody was okay with the rain, but it came on Friday. It came on Saturday and Sunday, and so that was the problem.
They have just a little time off.
And this weekend looks good. Really.
It does.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we're just missing the season by about 48 hours, really.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah,
Not
it
too
really
bad.
is. All right, 5:48 is our time right now. This next story is sure to make anybody a little emotional.
It is so sweet. During an interview this week, an Ohio police officer is approached by a stranger. At least he thought it was a stranger. Turns out the police officer saved this man from drowning when he was 5 years old, and the two hadn't seen each other in 19 years.
Because of you, I'm still here. Because of you, this 5-year-old little girl right here still is here.
So beautiful. Chris Jones, now 24 and a father, spotted Officer James Poole online as the man who saved his life and worked with the Columbus Police Department to set up the emotional and beautiful reunion. How cool is that?
Oh, I just love that.
That's what's great about social media. You know, you are able to find people you probably would have never been able to track down otherwise.
Right,
So.
go back and, you know, make amends at times, or in this
Yeah.
case, to be very, very thankful for the life he's been able to live.
Great
Good
story.
deal.
Yeah. Coming up, you'll get the stories making news at this hour.
Also, we'll have a look at any traffic situations going on out there. We have some health news as well, and it is so good to have you up and at it with us on WKYT this morning.
Kentucky mornings start here. You're watching WKYT This Morning.
Good morning to you. Welcome back in. It's 5:52. Here we are on your Wednesday, right in the middle of the week, and the last full day of summer.
I know.
You know?
And yeah, it's going to feel like summer for a couple more days.
I was going to say, it misses by just a couple of days here, and then we'll start to feel
Don't
that
worry, fall is
change.
on the way. That's right. Let's take a look at some of the stories we're working on for you this morning.
Our news team busy this morning. Unrest continued in Charlotte, North Carolina overnight after the deadly police shooting of a black man. A protest broke out after 43-year-old Keith Lamont Scott was fatally shot at an apartment complex. Police say around a dozen officers were injured during the demonstrations.
Police have released more details about the shooting death of a pregnant Lexington woman. Mariah Coleman was shot in the back while walking her dog nearly 2 weeks ago in the Winburn neighborhood. Coleman and her unborn baby died at the hospital shortly afterwards. Investigators now say witnesses reported seeing a man with dreadlocks and a cast on his arm running from the scene just moments after the shooting. But so far, police have not named any suspects in the case. The man accused of carrying out a series of weekend bombings in New York and New Jersey now faces federal terrorism charges.
Ahmad Khan Rahami was charged Tuesday with at least 10 federal counts, including the use of weapons of mass destruction. The suspect's father says he called the FBI on his son years ago, expressing terrorism concerns. And speaking in North Carolina, Donald Trump has declared that African Americans are in the worst shape they have ever been. The Republican candidate immediately came under some fire for ignoring that blacks were once subjected to slavery and Jim Crow laws. Trump is facing rival Hillary Clinton on the debate stage in just 5 days from now.
Looking forward to that.
It's going to be interesting, isn't it?
Yes. Good word, right? Interesting. Well, new questions about genes and weight loss and how eating peanuts early in life could have big health benefits. Let's take a look at some of the health news we have this morning.
Yeah, giving babies eggs and peanuts at an early age may lower their chances of developing food allergies. A study in JAMA finds that the risk of allergies is linked to when allergic foods are introduced. There is no link between the so-called obesity gene and a person's ability to lose weight. That's according to a team of international researchers who looked at studies involving thousands of people. They found even though people with the gene are heavier at the start, they respond the same to diet and exercise.
And wearable devices that monitor physical exercise and diet may not actually improve weight loss. A University of Pittsburgh study shows that patients whose use technology lost less weight than those on standard weight loss programs.
Oh, that's interesting.
That surprises me. I thought those things were great, you know.
Well, maybe it improves your fitness level. You know,
Yeah.
maybe there's not the weight loss, but you're burning the calories. I don't know, but you know, maybe there's some redemption for
Right.
those smartwatches. Okay, 5:55, our time this morning.
Let's get a check right now on today's traffic trouble spots with
See-
Live Drive Traffic.
Yeah, we'll see what's going on early out there. Here are your travel times into Lexington, and it's looking good. Normal times this morning, no reports of any real delays, about an average right in. Here's the Lexington Fayette Urban County Government Live Drive camera now, and we're looking at lots of pavement there at
Harrodsburg and Corporate.
And Corporate, okay,
Yes.
there you go. And there's our locator. And obviously, it's quiet in that location, but we know that's one of those areas that we'll be picking up. We
Oh,
saw it get
yes.
really busy yesterday on Richmond Road and Nicholasville Road during the morning rush, so
Right.
keep that in mind.
Yes.
We want to check weather here as we head toward the 6 o'clock hour. Temperatures that still feel like summer.
Yes, they do. Meteorologist Micah Harris has an update for us.
Yeah, it's an easy forecast. It really is. The next several days really not changing that much. Well, the next few days not changing, but then we hit the weekend and things will actually feel quite nice. We're at 59 now in Mount Sterling, Camargo, Jeffersonville, Hope Hill area. Good morning to you guys. Go up northbound into Bourbon County, Scott County, and Franklin County. Across 127, all looks well early this morning as we're sitting right around 60 degrees. So if you're traveling on any of the major highways, byways, no problems. Comfortable there by midday, roughly 80 degrees. And then we get in towards your afternoon. Looks pretty good. I mean, it's going to be another day just like yesterday. We'll be at 87, low humidity, and that keeps the skies mainly clear and without any rain chance. And that's going to be not only today, but the next few days. We're going to go over how high those temperatures are and then that blasting cold front this weekend. Coming up with another hour, WKYT News in a couple of minutes.